school year, one of our focuses was on math fluency and reading fluency, and our students made significant progress during the school year. So we were looking for a way to continue that. And so our goals were around reading fluency and math fluency. And because we had our opportunity for students during the summer, we were really trying to hoping that we would be able to prevent like the summer slide, and when they came back, they wouldn't have forgotten, or their reading fluency wouldn't have suffered over the summer if they were not able to read. And so our goals were around reading fluency and math fluency. We also worked on emotional regulation. It's one of the areas that consistently we score lower in, is just being able to manage overwhelming feelings, which we know when students can't manage their overwhelming feelings, then it definitely impacts their ability to have their minds open to learning. Some of the immediate benefits we actually saw in the daily sessions with the students. They were very sad when the 6 weeks came to an end. They really enjoyed coming. I think the students just loved being together. And the teachers that were working with the students were phenomenal. But at the beginning of the year, we do fluency with our students, both math and reading. And we saw for the students that were here in the summer, we saw little to no summer slide. They came in about where they left off, which is really great. And then we just opened it up to anyone who wanted to participate. And we had teachers that participated, and we had and we also had classified staff that participated. And because of the way we had it set up, it didn't, and let me back up and say, we had someone on that core team that was here every day. And then because of that, we didn't have to have the same teachers every day, which is very convenient for our teachers. Some of them worked like 1 week, and that's what they could fit into their schedule, which was really great. And then another teacher would work the next week. So we had kind of a rotation. Jess Kilby worked a week, and Erica Moreland, one of our fourth grade teachers. So we actually had like a rotation of a number of teachers that participated. We had two site directors, Vicki Johnson and Becky Caldwell. Vicki, again, is our ELL teacher, and Becky is a fourth grade teacher. And they were kind of the organizers. They organized the data, they collected the data, and calculated the students' growth. We also had the students measuring their own growth as well. And then I was here all but 1 week. And I was just a participant. I just loved being here with the students. One of the other things that we did that I think was, it was more impactful than I think when we first thought of it, and that is we asked the National Honor Society sponsor at Olathe West High School if there were any students that might want to participate, and we had 4 students from Olathe West that were here on a consistent basis, and then there were 2 that kind of rotated when it fit into their schedules, and that was really, really wonderful. The high school students were amazing with our kids, and I loved hearing them say, I wish we had done this when I was in elementary school. We didn't do things like this, and so that was good to hear too. We planned it out for the entire 6 weeks. Now, after we got started, obviously, like anytime you start something new, there were some things that we tweaked, especially the timing. Like we weren't sure how long each of the segments of our day would take, and so we made some adjustments to the timing. But we had the foundation of the lesson, of each day's lessons done at the beginning with just some little tweaks.
So really the goal of it was just to try to get a jump start for those kids that we thought would struggle transitioning to SFT. I asked the feeder elementaries to give me 8 to 10 to 12 kids from each building. And I asked them to really focus on kids that were in the virtual setting first, and then kind of go from there. So that's kind of how they chose their students. So I meet with my feeder elementaries about once a month or so. So we talked about it then, kind of presented it to them, and then had them share the student names with us, and then Pinky kind of ran with it from there, as far as getting the teachers. But really our goal was pretty simple, was for them to feel better about coming to SFT after than they did before. Initial lesson or a theme for the day, and got everybody together and did some cheers. And then they broke off into, I think we had like a movement session for them. Okay. We had a kind of an SEL portion of that for them, and then an academic portion of that for them. But it's pretty much in rotations with a lot of hands-on, and we did use our web leaders, our incoming web leaders, so 8th grade students as kind of their mentors, and then had like a teacher for each session, and then they just rotated around.
As far as the schedule and how we wanted to do our rotations and what we wanted to offer, I worked with the teachers. I gave them the ideas of what I envisioned, and then from there we kind of ran with the theme of the transition from going from elementary to middle school within all of their block rotations. So I worked with them over the summer, and we probably met over Zoom about just twice, actually, is all we needed to do. Worked out really well. SEL were the bigger benefits. Just the fact that when we asked the kids when they first walked in, and then on the very last day, we asked them again, about their excitement, confidence, and how nervous they were. The excitement went up, the confidence went up, the nervousness went down, and they said that they felt like they knew a teacher already here, which was great. And then what was really cool is that it was over 90% for every single category about them feeling like they're prepared, that they learned something, or whether it was about SFT or whether it was about academics. And they also said they just had an enjoyable experience and participated in the activities. So we had our How to Be SFT rotation, our STEAM, our math and science challenges, our reading. That was really cool the way she did it. She used short stories to discuss characterization, and then by the last day, they're writing about how they want their story to be here in middle school. PE activities, so she was using movement to talk about the culture shock of moving from elementary to middle school.
We really focus on community partnerships and reaching out to the community and that type of thing. And so really, we reached out to them for, and we do some prizes too at the end. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we reached out to them for prizes and snacks and things like that, and they really came through.
So basically, we're doing after-school tutoring. So the kids come to my classroom, and as soon as they get out of school, we have them do a quick snack and a little bit of playtime outside, and then they go into math and reading rotations. So we have typically 3 to 4 staff working, and the students will go through reading rotations where they will be in a small group of 3 or 4 kids working on their phonics and fluency skills. And then they'll go to a math rotation where mostly we've been working on a variety of things. We've focused first of all on just math computation. Could they add and subtract? And we're incorporating learning money, learning problem solving, like word application problems, and just kind of targeting a variety of math skills with them. And then usually at the end, at some point, we usually do some singing. So we have a musically talented person helping us. So we'll usually do a few minutes of phonemic awareness, or we will sing. We'll sing, we've mostly sung like skip counting songs. And she's also had them singing like the states and the states.
We looked at the data from the 95% to kind of determine for reading what level they should be at, or what we should be skill-wise, what we should be teaching. We selected students based on their MAP scores, the panorama. We took feedback from teachers, and they kind of gave us an idea of what students would benefit from the program. We used our title reading and our title math teachers to also give us feedback for, who would be a good fit for the program.
So we did a Saturday where everybody came in, and I pretty much had an idea, and Andrea had an idea of what materials we needed. And then we spent a couple hours on a Saturday with everybody copying and putting together notebooks. So if you take 2 times 8 people, that's a lot of hours, where we just got it done before the whole program ever started. So everybody had the binders with the materials they needed. And then Andrea right now is, we budget for her to spend an hour a week or so, would you say, Andrea?
About an hour a week, yeah.
Coming in and refilling our tubs with what we need for the next reading lesson.